Hey, what's up? Now magically everything works. Isn't that weird? Isn't it weird how technology makes no sense? Yeah, I literally didn't do anything except like restart for the third time my Streamlabs. There was no miracle like solution or anything. It just suddenly started working. My normal mic, like it was on other mics before. Alright, let's hope for the best. We're gonna save the replay game for next time. Focus on your exam. We'll do Margle Roland. Margle Roland versus Egodashi Mate. So, I'm a little unsure on the spelling of your opponent's name. I've seen it both ways, like E-G-R-E-S-I and E-G-R-E-S-S-Y. Which is it? Does he like change it so his games are hard to find in the database or something? Alright. No, I think this is the normal spelling here. What Cheater Schooler has. It's always like this. I swear, I saw it somewhere like on Facebook or something where it was like E-S-S-Y. But, you know, I'm Pascal Vilmos on Facebook, so that doesn't count. Alright, this is Cheater Schooler's greatest nemesis. His tournament game, I guess from last week. D4, D5, -3. Cheater Schooler is white against his lifetime nemesis. Another young FIDE master. Division 2. Battle of the Titans. -3, -6, C4. Black plays E6. And then, Catalan. Cheater Schooler is kind of old school, you know. You expect him to play what he plays, but I guess you slightly change your, you know, maybe specific move orders and stuff. I mean, you also know how to play the black side of this. I was, surprised here by Queen A4 check. I'm sure you have your reasons for playing Queen A4 check. Is it our favorite A6 move? You're having your own glitch, that's not my problem. A6. Thanks for pointing out something negative, Juicebox. If you could find one. I'm sure you find another negative thing to point out, but it's cool. You're not going to get my move down. D takes C4. The audio sounds much... There's still a glitch coming through on my end. It's like, what am I going to do? Let's focus on the chess, dude. I know that's hard to do, but... D takes C... Well, I mean, Cheater Schooler himself plays D takes C4, Bishop G2, A6. This has been a very problematic move for me, personally. I know you play that. I'm wondering what he expects you to play. Yeah, you're supposed to be studying. You're studying for your test next Monday. Queen A4 check. Yeah, somebody played this in a game we saw like last week or something. Move 11, was it you? Where did we see a game just like last week? The same sort of... Oh no. We're gonna time out Chess Zebra. I can't believe you guys are complaining about the sound. I just missed the first hour of my stream because the sound wasn't working. And immediately everybody just complains. You know how irritating that is? If the sound doesn't sound right, everybody knows that, you know? Like, just don't need to, like, mention it. Everybody knows about it, because it's, like, all anybody talks about. We don't need to reiterate it, or I just won't be streaming at all, you know? I mean, I already missed, like, the first 45 minutes of my stream. A6, Queen takes C4, B5, The people who don't want to focus on chess, you can go check out a porno site or something. Alright, b5, queen c6. Now, I don't know. Super Spieler knows this stuff. I mean, I guess I saw this many years ago. But I was never really sure, like, what the best move order is for white. Obviously, like, you don't want black. You don't really want black to play c5. Oh, I know what it was now. Wasn't it XL poker? Speaking of XL poker, you had a game where, like, you didn't get in, like, c5, or you played c5 and you didn't play b5, or... I'm trying to remember why we saw this recently, but maybe it wasn't the same position. Okay. b5, queen c6, Super Spieler knows the theory. So if you don't play queen c6, you have to play like queen c2 or queen d3, and black just gets in bishop b7 without a fight. So this is obviously like critical. Rook a7 is played sometimes. You could see how rook a7 could be. Yeah, I mean, if black gets in c5, sometimes it's more than okay, right? This is the entire idea in the Catalan, to like pin black down on the c-file. I would say like the most important, or the most important strategic concept in the Catalan. But, you know, rook a7 is funny if you look at the opening score, that has a good score for black. Is it a better move? Because it protects c7, or the rook has more usefulness, like laterally? You know, it's a different move. Okay, whatever. So rook b8, bishop f4. Well, there's a million variations in the Catalan. Bishop f4, knight d5. I mean, so long as white remains here with the superior pawn in the center, black is not equal. You know, all animals are equal. Some are more equal than others. This animal with black is not as equal as the animal here with the white pieces until he's like somehow solved this d4 pawn. That's it, you know. White's just better until black can get this answer in. So bishop g5, this is not forced, I would assume. Black's threatening bishop b7, however. And once you play bishop b7, then comes c5. So it's possible for Super Spieler to like castle. This isn't the issue. The issue is bishop b7 and c5. Bala Gimre lost against Shengelia back in 2010. I mean, black gets in c5, black's golden. So we want to try to stop black from doing that. And by the way, I'm not really convinced about knight d5, but, you know, this is an interesting question. Bishop e7, queen takes c7, Lemidol versus Morzevich, 97. There's a couple other games here. So it's possible to sack this pawn. That's definitely something that black could consider. Maybe having no pawn is better than a backward pawn. Knight d5, moving the same piece twice. Asterbate knows about that. Bishop g5. Now f6 is ugly, really losing by force. So black has to play bishop e7. There is a check. There is a check. But I guess the bishop just kind of misplaced there. Dmitry, back in 2012, knight on bd2. Alright, so bishop b7. I'm surprised Super Spieler you didn't play h4 here. That's totally your style, right? No, just kidding. No, h4 is too slow. Too slow. You know, black's turning bishop b7 and c5. But I mean, how can we stop it? That's the million-dollar question. Bishop b7, queen e7. Black's still threatening bishop b7 and c5. So this is the secret move. Knight c3. Obviously this looks a little scary, because your queen is almost trapped. But Schieber knows the theory. So we're threatening knight takes d5. I mean, bishop b7, knight takes d5. Ivan Shuklenko. There's a lot of draws. So this is a very interesting. Yeah, I don't do a lot of puzzles. No, I feel like it's not really useful. It's not a useful thing so much. For stream at least. It's like doing homework problems on, you know, it would be like your math teacher doing homework problems in class or something. So knight b4 is the main line, but it has a crappy score for black. Queen b4. Wow. That's a weird move. Attacking b2. So we like castle. Knight c3. This gets complicated. It looks like this is nothing. I mean, queen takes, b takes, black gets in c5. Black didn't play c5 here, wow. But it's different now. I mean, the c-file's not open, so he doesn't have to play it right away, I guess. Wonder what Schieber would do. Take with the b pawn. Now queen d6. So this looks like an alternative, you know, pretty good. Queen b4. Let's see what the engine says. Castles. Well, I mean, you know, you're playing a safe game here. You're not trying to, like, blow the guy away. You know, first of all, you don't want to lose. White has a solid position. But this is risky for, this feels very risky for black. I mean, he can't know everything. You know, maybe he only knows one variation. But knight b4 feels very risky. Oh no, my rook. So it's an Eric Rosen joke. The Botes. What happens when you're out of book early, in my case, is I find the moves, but it takes me forever to find them. You know, so I don't know if that's the case of your opponent, but I would have wasted like 30 minutes probably finding the right moves. The biggest advantage in knowing a lot of theory, you know, is that you can conserve time. I end up playing like complicated positions and then wasting all my time in the opening. Getting, you know, good moves, but it takes too long to find them. So this is a known position going back to 97, 92. Wow, Wojciech, like one of the best Catalan players I know, or knew. Yeah. So Wojo had a game in 1992. It's been known. Wojo's weapons. Yeah, I mean, Schieber, we talked about Queen A4. Schieber plays the A6 line with black against castles. Probably doesn't want to face his own variation. So this is known. That happened in this first game in 92. So White has like no losses, a couple draws, a one loss maybe, no losses. Well, I guess there is a loss somewhere. Maybe there's like one loss or something for White. 95, and now Queen D8. Iescas versus Onishuk. Queen D8, King D8, Knight C6 check, King C7, Knight B8, Knight B8, and now this knight is trapped. So we get to. By the way, the strongest player I ever beat. People ask me all the time, like, who's the strongest player you've ever beaten? It was Alexander Onishuk, and he was around like 2650. 2650, 2660. That's the highest rated player I've actually won against. This was earlier though. This was 97. I don't think I played Onishuk till like 99. King d2. Onishuk, I believe, was a student of canceled Karpov. Rook d8, and then e3. What I liked about this game, Schieberspieler, because I took a little look at it, you know, the interesting thing about the position is, after bishop e7, you take, he takes. Why are we leaving the Onishuk game? Oh shit, so Onishuk played e5. Yeah, King Archer, okay. Knight b3 needs to be considered. But I don't think it's going to make or break the position. But this is interesting. This is our first real question. Let's say rook d8 is definitely the best move. White has to defend the pawn, or else it's nothing. And so Igarashi Mate just traded the bishops off, which looks good on paper. You know, it's an active bishop on g2 against an undeveloped bishop on c8. Why does Alexander Onishuk play e5 without trading those bishops? It's an interesting question. Second question is about what you said with knight b3. Is it worth it to think about like knight b3? My explanation on that is, generally speaking, all that matters really here, well, the most important thing, not all that matters, no, the most important thing is Schieberspieler's kingside majority. But I think knight b3 is... It's also a tempo. White has to take the time to take that knight, you know. Wonder what Black's mistake was. Well, I mean, to be honest, I think Queen, it looks like the mistake is knight b4, you know. You're committed now. We look like this is very solid. Queen b4 was solid, and as Schieberspieler mentioned, it's possible to play bishop b7. But, you know, it's still an interesting position. Can Black defend or not? Rook d8, e3. I mean, I'm going to say, like, I think, like, Onishuk's thinking is that he's a pawn down, so he probably doesn't want to trade pieces, on the one hand. He lost anyway against Iescas. But this transforms the position. I mean, Iescas plays d5. He's got what is amounting to like a protected passer on d5. That's like game over strategically. So let's see what happened in the game. Bishop e7, king b7, rook a1, and then e5. So now it's like slightly different because Schieberspieler can't go d5 because of b4, and then this guy will go with check. So we can't actually have a protected pass pawn. Why was that not possible in the Onishuk game? Well, because the bishop's protecting the pawn as well. So I guess, you know, your opponent's move seems like logical in a way. In one sense, it's like illogical to trade pieces. But on the other hand, like Onishuk's plan seemed kind of hopeless. To give White a protected passer looks really bad. But I thought this was an interesting position, and I agree. Like knight b3 is interesting. We can throw this in. Knight b3 takes, king takes. I don't think this is make it or break it. You know, and the tempo might help White. This may not make that much difference. White still has the kingside majority, but it's definitely playable. You know, worthy of consideration. But I thought the game was interesting. You can't play d5. I think your opponent here optimistically, and I would have been the same way. Your opponent is like optimistically thinking that, hey, it's not so bad. I'm down a pawn, but they're on the king's side. Maybe I can reach a rook ending where I'm a pawn down, but he's got an isolated pawn. All rook endings are draws. What's amazing is like how big Schieberspieler's advantage is here. It looks really, really bad, man. Knight e2, and it's like passive, right? You figure, oh, Black's not that bad. Knight c6, exclamation point. well, I mean, what choice do you have? King c3, okay. But king c3, pawn takes pawn. You know, now... This is not an automatic recapture. We have to consider pawn takes, but the game is more complicated, actually, like knight e5 check. So knight takes pretty much like forces black. You know, if he wants to take this, he's got to take it. But this is like really tough for black. I think he might be lost here. I was going to check with the engine. It doesn't want to exchange knights. You know, you think, oh, well, white is an isolated pawn, it's a rook ending. But on the other hand, you know, it becomes a passed pawn when you take here. What do you think, Schieberspieler? Is this, like, definitively, like, a losing move? Can black maybe not trade knights? Yeah, I mean, I think he thought, like, mistakenly that he had chances to hold this rook ending, but it looks really bad. This seems like maybe the biggest mistake. He probably has some chances, plus, if the structure stays the way it is, if he doesn't change the structure to give you, like, you know, a passed e-pawn, I think, you know, there are some chances. Not that it's easy for black, but it's still not that easy for you. You still have to, like, do the work to create a passed pawn somehow. So this is a huge mistake. And then, this king is so strong. So it's not just up a pawn, but you're up a pawn with a really good centralized king. And you're threatening to come to the e-file and invade. So I don't know, you know, and if he covers the e-file, you go to the c-file. And he's not getting down in our position. King c6 to centralize, but I'm not sure, you know, if he has maybe something better. It's really... I remember, like, I checked it with the engine, and a4, I think it's, like, almost over. a4 is a very good move. a4 was surprising, but I really don't know what to recommend for black here. Maybe something like rook d6. Can you try to, like, bother your pawns? You're coming to the e-file, you know, that's the problem. It's a pretty big problem. I mean, the threat to infiltrate down here. Yeah, it looks like it's over. But I think it takes a fairly strong player to realize that, you know. You figure, oh, all rook games are drawn. It's just an isolated queen pawn. There should be chances. This a4 move was, I think, really strong. And after this, I mean, now, and I don't think anything better. This is like another weakness. And your rook enters the game and it can, like, come in here. And that's so passive. So I'm not sure what your best move is here. My instinct is rook a5. But I guess you're kind of setting him up for a trap by playing king c4. Because you can play a5 and allow b4, so yeah. It's not really a trap, I mean. Yeah, this doesn't matter. It's all good. Black can't play a5, then here, you can meet him with rook c5. And then it's over. I mean, one pawn up and a rook ending. Alright, there's an interesting position still. Here, I don't know if this is the best move or not. It doesn't really matter. Here, check, king d5, look at that king. And so he tries to get, you would think he would try to get active counterplay here with rook down. I was looking at this with the computer, I think. Rook down, rook takes pawn, rook takes pawn. Like, it's really bad. I mean, this is similar to what happened, I guess. He plays rook c6, b5. Now he loses the king pawn game if he takes. Check, rook c7, take king c5, and black's done. You know, you just check here. So it's not a trade of pawns. He has to do this check here, no checks. Now take, and now d5. This is a nice move too. And now it's no rook. That's brutal. That's brutal. That's horrible. Check, here. King takes rook. That's nice. Like, objectively, I thought, like, this is a nice finish, by the way. Mate coming up. Objectively, I thought his last chance, well, it's not a real chance, but, you know, theoretically, you always want to try to defend actively. So I was looking at this with the engine. Rook a6, rook f2, rook a7 check. I don't know where he's supposed to go. I mean, you gotta imagine this is Black's only hope, like in a blitz game or whatever. King d8. And now, like, is every move winning for White? Like, no matter what? I would assume, like, b5. b5 is good enough, for example. Yeah. You don't even need to defend your h-pawn. Alright, good game. Congratulations. You got enough games for today. Probably. Alright, if I have extra time, I'll go to those last submissions. But we had a late start, and I wanna finish within like 2 hours. Yeah, that was instructive, man. Good game. Congratulations. Alright, Uber driver. You can go through this quickly. He's not here. Alright, Excel Poker, thank you. So Uber driver's White. He gave us an e4 game, a Sicilian. It's interesting too because I think that Uber driver actually plays the con Sicilian with Black. He's always talking about Bobby Fischer, so of course, I think Fischer played Bishop d3. We had the follow from Cardisco and TJ. Huge problems with the resub. No, that's from yesterday. Okay. So Queen c7, and now are these open studies? You like to go and get the PGM of that last game. Study it in the morning. I can probably grab the PGM for you. Is that in there? Is the whole thing in there? Something wrong. Something went wrong there, no? Oh, well, you can just grab the link. Mr. Coffee, no, or Mr. Coffee, yes? That's very vague. Juice Suckers is like, I'll ever remember. I'll forget by later. I have Alzheimer's, man. Oh yeah, Uber driver's PGN. I mean, Juice Suckers, I can't even remember your name. So this is slightly unusual. Early Queen E2 is good. Oh man, I faced this variation. This is interesting. Somebody played this against me on the stream, and I was like really surprised that they played -6 right away. Only the tags and first moves. Just invited for the study. Alright. Special privileges. There's so many juice boxes. Oh my god, there's Juice Box Warrior. I'm a Juice Box Warrior. That's your new account. But don't go scrolling through the... Don't go scrolling through the study while I'm doing the stream. You like pull me out of my game. Okay, knight f6 is weird. Yeah, I faced this. Oh, it was actually Excel Poker who played against me. Oh, interesting. Yeah, you played this. I was like, what are you doing? How can you allow e5? That's weird, you know? That game I lost. It's really weird. I mean, it's very rare, but it's like playable. It's strange. I mean, there's only like, I was totally stunned by that move. There's only like 6 games in the entire database. Yeah, the surprising thing, right? E5 isn't so great. I'm not sure E5 is good at all. But I mean, maybe it's not bad. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, E5 might actually be a critical move, and no one had the guts to play it except for me. Of course. I mean, logically speaking, if no one plays knight f6, and white can play e5, you know, you would assume like e5 is the refutation. It's just like nobody else knew what to do either. Superdrive just, of course, chickened out and castled, and then we transposed the theory. So there isn't a lot of independent significance, maybe. Can black try anything tricky, like b5? h5 was played 17 times. Wow. UNESCO. Who's that? Jumabayev, one of those guys from Uzbekistan. So there's a handful of players, yeah, h5, that's really weird looking, but sound. Emery Tate used to play this. Some sort of bishop d6. I remember seeing this game like Waitskin Tate. It must have been like 1992. Emery did like bishop d6 and queen c7 really early. I couldn't make heads or tails of it. If it's good or just unsound. No, bishop d6 is possible. Castles. But obviously this is the main line. d6. Do they have Karpov games? Karpov is cancelled. He's not named Karpov. Alright. c4. Yeah, I usually play c4 as well. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of games to go back, but my bigger problem with the lichess opening explorer is the lack of games before, like, the 70s. There are probably tons of Karpov games, but the older games, you know, from 100 years ago, the quality of those games is quite high, and they're, like, ignored because new, like, programmers from lichess don't understand that old chess games are still important. c4. Now, it turns out g6 is the main line. That's a very modern move. b6 is possible. Bishop b7. Here, knight c3, b6. I had games with one of the viewers very early on in our stream. Actually, one of our first opponents. Let me see if we can find it. Not this exact position. That's surprising that I have no games in this exact position. What would it have been? Like b3? Bishop b7? Still nothing? Bishop b2? Bishop b7? Still nothing? I have a game against Cheesemate from this position. That wasn't the player I was thinking of, someone else. Weird. So Superdriver plays c4 and f4. He's got everything covered. This is oftentimes a nuisance here. They post lichess on OVH. Storage limits and stuff. Yeah, throughout the old games and put it in the chess.com title Tuesday ones. Totally makes sense. I can't imagine those old games actually take up that much space. There's really not that many. It's not really a question of that, I think. Alright. There's like 80 million like bullet games from 1,500 players in the opening explorer, but they can't have like 30,000 like master games from pre-1970. It's just about like someone not caring about it, basically. They just don't know any better, man. I mean, lichess was started by very, very amateur chess players. They just didn't know any better. but I'm not sure about the opening explorer. I always kind of assumed it was a second party program or third party program, fourth party. But it gets updated, you know. I don't know how it works exactly. The deal with the opening explorer. Is it like open source? Like all the chess sites that use opening explorers, is it the same opening explorer that's like open source and they're just all using the same shit and then plugging in their own data? Is that how it works? B3, weak knight. This is UberDriver versus Raise BPU 2119. But I wonder if there's like a, you know, open source sort of database as well. Yeah, I mean, black should castle. I mean, I play games very much like this. But alright, knight c5. So, black knight leaves control of e5. You've seen question and answer of lichess in the past. I think the database is open source. Can't remember exactly. Yeah, it'd be really good to get the older games in there. It's ridiculous. I mean, there are games from like the World Championships that don't come up when you like search a position. You know, when you. I mean, come on, man. It's like Aliyekin Uva World Championship 1950 whatever it was, 39. I don't remember, but it's just like that's kind of important, you know, to not leave out when you're searching for games or whatever. E5. So black loses control of the e5 square, but this diagonal opens up. That looks a little dangerous. D takes e5. Gotta watch the f file. F takes e5. Knight f7. Watching for rook. Kelleher, rook takes f7, sacrifices. I was referencing this like last week in a Sozin. We saw rook takes f7. So maybe like lichess developed their own opening explorer that works exactly the same as like other opening explorers on other chess sites. Alright. Knight takes e3. So, what about this bishop here? Is it worth giving up a bishop for that? Structurally, long-term, black is better. It has a powerful minor piece, the more powerful minor piece, but white's central control here is just gigantic. I'm seriously like wondering if I can castle the queen side. Obviously not a safe thing to do, right? You could possibly see a piece sacrifice. You think Sophia Rogers? Ulevin's been here quite a while. Yeah, I think Sophia Rogers must have been my ex-wife or something. I have my suspicions about that. There was something funny about that account. Once they sent me like an extensive email, it seemed all too familiar. Knight takes e5, not email, but like a message or whatever on lichess. There's something weird about that. Don't go there. This is just really dangerous. You're wondering about bishop c2. Right. I mean, this is a default move, man. I had a game in the World Senior where I didn't preserve my bishop, and I had the exact same games like Polukievsky played. In a similar kind of situation, he preserved his bishop and I didn't, you know. It was a queen pawn game, but similar strategically. Yeah, I mean, you think, well, this bishop's kind of a bad bishop, but it's not anymore. Now that the pawn has come to e5, even if it was a bad bishop, but I mean, now it's not a bad bishop. I mean, it's often common to play bishop c2 or even bishop e1, even when the pawn's still on e4. So I think on paper, I mean, yeah, this should be like our first consideration. But I guess black, you know, can take on e5 for reals here. So we can't be having like a queen exchange or anything like that. I mean, if we're gonna play e5, the question is, should we play bishop c2 first, right? Is it worth playing bishop c2? I don't know. You can't play e5 and allow like knight f5, so what does black do? Like castle? And then that looks really dangerous. I mean, I'm down with bishop c2. I have to be honest. I'm also down with like not trading pieces. So is it really slow? The question is, does white have a way to break through? Well, and we have e5. Black would presumably castle. This becomes much stronger now. So I think the answer to your question is, yeah, I would play bishop c2. Uber Driver, it's a blitz game. He played e5, take. There's knight takes d3 here. I just realized. The point being, pawn takes, knight takes c1. But white would have pawn takes g7. Is that a problem? Rook g8. Rook takes c1, and then rook takes g7 with pressure here. This is presumably... That would be presumably my assumption why Uber Driver didn't do it, but man... Hypothetically, this kind of thing could happen, and it might not be good for black, you know? There's no substitute for calculation, you know? That could be a very serious problem. Let's see what the computer thinks. Yeah, it's sharp. This is critical line. Knight takes c3, it actually doesn't work because of pawn takes f6. This is a really important line. Knight c1, pawn g7, rook g8, rook c1. Rook takes g7, knight d5. Holy shit. And it's not winning. You'd think like black was busted here, but he has queen d6. When the game is totally up in the air. Rook e1. That's the classic Sicilian, but the nice thing about knight d5 is it does block that, the bishop pair. Alright, anyway, we wanted to make sure it was not necessary. This is crazy. I mean, you can't take on e5. You could take it, but it's extremely dangerous. What's he gonna do now? No, I mean, I think it's lost, right? It isn't. No, it isn't possible to take this, right? f6 is out of the question. Yeah, it's just lost. This is chess equivalent of crucifixion here. I mean, this is really bad, dude. f6, knight takes e6. This is even guarded. I mean, black just showed no sense of danger whatsoever. Yeah, it's pretty... But I don't think Uber Driver intended it to be like, you know, oh, this is a brilliant game. He knew. Yeah, knight e5 just loses. You can't take that pawn, man. I remember I once had a position like that against Boris Wasinski, the 1988 like New Jersey Open or something. There are known sacrifices in this game in England, for example, where that pawn goes, but it's just too dangerous to take it. I played this game again in the old days. Alright, what do we got for time? It's 8 o'clock. 7 chapters. Uber Driver's gone. Repun's next week. Raleigh we did. Okay, the mule. The mule. This is Mule Skinner. Guys, I hate to, I hate to beg you, but I want to buy the latest, anal beads, and with chess, like, built-in chess analysis features, and we need your support to get the latest stuff. So please donate and subscribe to the stream. No, this is Mule Skinner with black. 1800 over the board game. Mule Skinner playing black against an 1800 FIDE. Knight f6, c4, c5, d5. The Benko is just not popular. It hasn't been in a long time. I really don't know why, though. I would think the Benko would be more popular. It just doesn't seem popular. b5. And so now White played what I think a move I'm really unfamiliar with. I think I recall this being a move. I guess it's similar in nature to like Queen c2. You're making a move that like supports e4. The idea is like when black takes here, you're gonna play e4. So I think knight d2 is another way of kind of. You literally played this yesterday with black or white. The same idea. I mean, if we take, we're playing for e4. It's one of like 100. One of the problems with playing the Benko, honestly, is like white does have like 100 different ways to play. If you do play the Benko, you have to be prepared for like 20 different variations. Yeah, I mean, I honestly played the take and decline, push pass line forever, but yeah, it's very popular. But I don't think it's that great for white. It's hard for white to decide what to play. I think like the accepted is the gold standard now for white, but that's again, like you gotta be a really strong player to understand how to play that. Okay, so knight d2. Now, let's think about it logically, not knowing theory here, and I mean the whole idea of the Benko is like undermine white center, so b takes c4 is fundamental, right? We take toward the center, we destroy the c4 pawn. We've done something. It's not forced. Excel Poker plays knight d2. You could put more pressure on the enemy center. I mean, e6 is a conceivable move. Playing it like a sort of what's it called? Blumenfeld gambit. I would imagine that like e6 is conceivable, but this is like more immediate. And then like what other options do you have? Well, if you do nothing, White will do like e4, e5. But let's say g6. What if we ignore it? Then e4. Then we play like bishop g7. We're gonna get rolled. We're gonna lose a piece with e5. So we can't ignore it. Well, no, you don't lose a piece, but you have to play like knight g8, which I guess is bad. So d6. White plays, let's say, this is an interesting move, bishop b2, or takes. So all I'm trying to establish here is like the real serious candidate moves for black. B takes c or g6. It looks like people play queen a5. To say that that move is artificial would be like an understatement. But might be justifiable. Okay. So what do we got here? G6, the natural approach. Do we have any games? Nothing since 2017. There's a game. Johann Sebastian Bach. Again, not a lot of people playing the Benko these days. It's not a popular opening. E4. Now you have to play d6, and he doesn't. Okay, he doesn't have to. d6 is possible. Okay, so bc is interesting. But I imagine it's like a transposition. Now if white takes with the knight, we have knight takes e4. Just make sure this is okay. I'm not convinced. We've got to be careful of like queen e2. Something bad could happen here. I'm not getting this. How does black defend against that? It's funny, like no one has played knight takes c4, but I don't see like anything's patently wrong with it. I mean, I guess you can take the pawn. So you do another move, d6. I mean, this is a good square for the knight. It's just a question of how you protect that. It's interesting. I mean, you could play bishop e3. So it's kind of a funny position. Like, knight takes c4 is playable, and no one has ever played it in a serious game. Okay, I mean, you know, you're developing a new piece with bishop takes c4. This guy actually played the knight takes c4. Oh shit. Novelty. This is a new move over the board. Knight takes c6. I wasn't paying attention to the list. I was thinking about it on my own. Is it forced loss after knight takes c4? Yeah, I mean it looks like it. Knight takes c4, queen e2, f5, f3. I don't have a suggestion how it would not be a forced loss. That looks about as forced loss as you can get, man. Queen e2. You're like a clear piece down with no compensation. Well, one pawn for it. This doesn't work. I'm assuming this doesn't work out too well. It's not possible. Yeah. No, so it's interesting. The drawback to the move is that white is still going to have to defend e4 with something. Yeah, so I expected bishop d3. You know, now this is a threat, theoretically. Just because I played the Nescafe Frap attack a lot with white, like, I know there are lines where you can actually still sack a pawn in this type of position. Let's say knight c4, queen e2. I mean, for example, knight f6, bishop f4. Just hypothetically, like, there are situations where this is still very strong. You know, even if white is like down a pawn. I've had some crazy games with people in the Frap attack where it's like king d7 or something. You know, I mean, anything could happen. I mean, here, for example, bishop g7, knight takes d6, check, king f8, I don't know. Theoretically, it's like conceivable there's a way to play for white without actually protecting the pawn on e4. I don't really know about f3, but even that, you know, it like this could even be a transposition to an f3 Benko, right? I mean, I had a friend who used to play the f3 Benko all the time, and it makes sense. I mean, the knight's on a good square here. The other knight, you know, hopefully will like come to c3, I guess. It seems to be pretty reasonable for white, actually. Just simply f3. So maybe f3 is better. I don't know. You know, it's if you play f3, you can't play f4, obviously. So bishop d3, bishop g7, f4. He goes for it. Okay, white's asking a lot here. f3 would be safer. Now castles. He's trying to play the 4 pawns attack. But man, the knight is on c4. You know, maybe he should have stuck to the f3 same-ish. Because we don't have much support of this pawn. You know, the knight should be on like c3 where it's like guarding that pawn. If you want to freaking play the 4 pawns attack, right? It looks like this f4 was asking, you know, too much from the position. But I suppose it's playable. He just has to be careful. But now what do we do? Because black has a lot of options. I mean, there's like the Benko like, I mean the Benoni like, bishop a6, trading pieces. There's bishop g4. There's the obvious, you know, Benoni style e6. What about this? You know, does this work? We can take with the bishop, maybe. And black's on the verge of virtually equalizing. And white still hasn't castled yet. I'm not real convinced about white's position. Of course, if you play e6, yeah. Yeah, bishop a6 is playable. It feels a little passive. I like blowing up the center. My gut instinct says e6. Okay, what would happen after takes, castles? Oh my god, there's a game. A game just popped up. I had a game like this where I got in trouble after like d5. I had a bad structure. I don't think I want to be like black here against Schieber. Now white has superior pawn structure. But is black's activity enough to compensate? And f4, man. f4 is like a freaking Grand Prix attack. You know, that f4 is just nothing but problems. You might as well just like give it away with f5. It's better on f5. No, I agree. You know, I think e6 is the way to go. You want to blow up the center. Yeah, the f4 sucks in that position. All the more reason to play e6, you know, and try to blow him up. You're blowing it up, and he's played f4, and he's all open, and his king's still on e1. So this is okay, but it's not as direct. Chess is basically about like controlling the center, developing your pieces, and attacking the other guy's king. With knight b7, we're developing our pieces, but we're not attacking his center. Knight b6. I mean, the virtue of the Benko, I mean, its white's black structure is one nice island, but still white has a space advantage here. I feel like we're still worse without a break. He could play f5, go, you know, Kasparov none style on us. White has some attacking chances based on the space. It's it might be too late to do e6 now. I don't know about this. Maybe not. But this may be the last chance if you want to play e6. How are you going to recapture? It might be plausible for black. Pause for thought. But I guess if you wanted to play e6, you should play it before. Why does the sound come from outer space? Jim, don't ask, or I might have to ban you. No one can complain about the sound here. Oof, you got a tactic on him. Wow. This is a classic King's Indian tactic. So good on Muleskinner. That happens in the Petrosian variation of the King's Indian sometimes. You like skewer his queen to his rook. Ouch. Not only ripping his pawn off, his central pawn off, but threatening knight c3 as well. Dude, that's game over. Yeah, I mean, white feels overextended. But objectively, I guess he should have played what? Not rook b1. Duh. Can we play b3? He can play it, but is it good? No. I don't think so. He can't do it. It's a little tricky to coordinate white here. We can't play bishop e2, we can't play bishop e3, we can't play rook b1, we can't play e5. If we play h3 maybe, I was worried about this, but that's the last of our problems. Least, whatever. H3. Let's do H3. Bishop E3 is conceivable. There's also King H1. Quite a reasonable move. Okay, this is just a blunder. And it's over. This is over. G4 is like, kill me. No, he wants to play F5. Yeah, Mule Skinner's not screwing around. He's tired of losing these little kids. Can White take on the bishop's hanging? Yeah, this is the best shot, taking E7. White still has the center on D5. Well, I mean, you might as well play G4. I mean, your whole position is sunk anyway. You've got nothing to lose at that point after you blundered your E4 pawn. I had a game with Harold Henry Jr. last Sunday where my entire game was like a Benoni structure based on trying to like undermine his center, and I isolated his D pawn like that, like in 10 moves or something. I never, ever, ever, ever got a chance to attack it. Like, it was so sick, you know? I have great structure, and I have good-looking position in a sense, but, like, the weakness isn't a weakness if it can't be attacked. I mean, this pawn is, like, terrible, but right now White's still holding on, as long as he's got that D pawn on D5. This is a sad move to play, you know, rook D8. I doubt we really want to do that. I feel like we have to like get rid of this crap, you know, like this doesn't work because of rook F2, queen B1. Maybe we should just go with the bishop, let him have this, and then take on B3. Because ultimately, if you take on B3, you get rid of this crap, you know, you get rid of that, and then this really starts to fall. You know? It's like a chain reaction. I don't like defending passively here with rook D8. But maybe he has something else. Maybe F5 is scary. So let's say bishop C2, F5, threatening F6. Rook A, E8, queen takes here, and he's still like threatening F6. It is pretty annoying. We'll have to take on F5 at some point. I guess we can take on F5 right away. Yeah, you have to take on F5. Yeah. No, I mean, you can take the pawn on F5, right? What do you want to take the pawn on B3? We could do this too. I was a little worried about F7. Black should be winning though. So let's see what he did. He did rook D8. Now White does that, but I mean he's got to try F5, right? Rook E1. Yeah, now Mule Skinner did it. He found it, bishop C2. But now we have less pressure on the B3 pawn because the rook is on D8. So he could have tried to hold on. Queen E2 works. Rook D E8. I was wondering about that. This is pretty extreme, but I think it works. I'm not so sure, but you do have a back rank threat. This better be well calculated. Threatening this, or this, F5, Queen A1, Rook E1. Okay, but I mean black is not material. It's just a rook and knight. It's not enough. Yeah, the F pawn could be captured. I want to say shoulda. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Here you have pawn takes pawn. Bishop G5. There's some complications. Not that simple because there's like here. Wow. Interesting move. I wonder about Queen B2 there. Oh my god. No way. So you played bishop e4, and then bishop d2 and you lost the piece? Holy shit. So you have bishop d4 check, and then king f1. I don't understand what happened here. Queen f6 dropping a bishop. How did this work? Well, obviously black is probably winning and probably in time pressure. This is a tempting move. But after this, now you have two pieces hanging. And bishop b1, not particularly appealing. You can't play queen e1. Jeez. Take the f pawn. I agree. I guess the question is like when, but I mean, when should we take the f pawn? Does it work now? It works now? Queen a1's good enough? Now you can take the f pawn. Yeah, that's a pity. I mean, no Skinner was winning. I still feel like there's some sort of move here for black, though. I keep thinking, like, black shouldn't be lost. Black shouldn't be lost, necessarily. But there's no way to win the piece back. You're losing a piece here for real. Can you play a different move like queen a2, rook e4, queen check, rook here? It's kind of a disaster. Panic mode. I really want to make the case for not playing rook e8 in the first place. You know, I feel like this was the wrong idea in this position. You gotta get rid of that, like, bastion he has, that... You know what? I mean, you could probably play rook takes b3. Let me see this. Like, rook takes b3? Is that crazy? A little. It's a little crazy. Wait, it has several moves. There's, like, rook f2. It's a little crazy, I know. I mean, it's simpler to just go here. But I don't like playing passively. Here you still have a chance. You did it just 2. There's gotta be a move here. But he was winning. It turns out. Just gotta be accurate. And just take on f5. So queen f6 losing a piece. Taking f5, taking f5, h5. Preventing rook g4, bishop d3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bishop, bishop. 5, 6, 7, 8. You're not down. You're not actually down any material, right? Wait, there's rook, knight, and bishop for queen and pawn. You're down a point of material. It's the coordination that's the problem. White's pretty well coordinated here. Queen c3. Queen c3, rook e8 check. What happens? I'm not even sure that black is lost here. You're not even lost. He wasn't even lost in the final position. So Skinner must have lost on time. Actually. He lost on time. It's not clear that he's lost in the final position. You could always play like bishop f6, but your queen's hanging now. Oh, okay. I don't really like bishop d4 though. You should go here, hit his bishop. So the point is, like, check, king h7, f6 doesn't work because the queen takes d3. Maybe most Skinner didn't realize that in time pressure. Alright, that was really upsetting. Yeah, I mean, he allowed too much counterplay in general. This is our hero of the day, Nefedov, the victim. Astrobate, the victor. Victor and victim. So this is Astrobate playing white against Pavel on our Tuesday tournament. I mentioned this the other day. F4, d5, pawn takes pawn on d5. I think like this is objectively not as good as the main line, I guess, theoretically. But I mean, it deserves to be played more often, probably, by white. So Pavel was rated 1972. It's a good year. Astrobate's significantly older at 1767. That's a period in history I'm not really that clear on. 72 was good. So Astrobate transposes to the King's Gambit by playing pawn takes pawn. I had a game with Arsenal fan yesterday where he played this, and we transposed to the Falkbeer, and I played Queen E2, and then Arsenal made the mistake of Bishop G4. Never played Bishop G4 in the king pawn, double king pawn. Black got a bad position after knight F3. But Queen E2 seems to have a problem. Black can play Bishop E7. And then our queen is sketch. Planinik versus Vasyukov. So the main line is D3. Interestingly here, Nefedov doesn't go into the Falkbeer. You know, it's a very interesting question what Nefedov's repertoire is against the King's Gambit. I'm not sure I've ever played the King's Gambit against him. It might be worth figuring it out. I'm gonna guess he doesn't play the Falkbeer. I don't know, maybe he does. But the interesting thing is I think the computer likes this move best. Knight takes c5. But you know, I don't think it's easy to play. There's also e takes f4, transposing to another variation of the King's Gambit, which is interesting. You know, actually, to be honest, like White's score is so bad in this Vienna. It feels like maybe it's better to just play pawn takes pawn. Schieberschmidt, my teammate, played this. This is in our last match 2 weeks ago. He almost drew. Prorok almost drew against the Slovakian guy who's like 2650 or 2620 or whatever. He played this and then somehow like confused the guy, and yeah, it's in the database. He has a game against Bianca. It's ridiculous, man. It was like d4, knight d1. No, d4, pawn takes pawn, knight g4. Yeah, so the guy could have even been prepared. You know, it was unbelievable. They had this, but I think he did knight c5 at some point. Not only like are you playing weird openings, you know what he did? What he did against, it was embarrassing. Against Koshul, you get a chance to play with Koshul, and he played e4, c5, f4. d5, knight f3. I don't know how this guy, you know, is playing board 1 on my team, but it's embarrassing. He's like 5 rating points higher than me somehow, you know, I don't know. It's just ridiculous, man. He almost drew Koshul too. I think that Koshul had nothing at some point, and he should have drawn, but his endgame technique is so bad that, you know, he reaches like a drawn position and loses anyway, with more time. Alright, anyway, enough venting about my team. So d5 takes, knight takes d5, knight f3. This is amazing. Astrobate variation. Because life's too short to like capture pawns. I mean, obviously f takes e5 looks kind of scary, because there's the check there. But I'm not sure there's anything special for black. This is actually the main line. You don't say. How does this work? Oh, you have to go here. Nakamura, Onishuk 2010. Onishuk was 26.99 at his peak. Maybe even higher. I don't know. That's when I wasn't playing chess much. But yeah, this is crazy, dude. Astrobate doesn't dig that. He plays knight f3, and this turns out to be quite interesting. So there's one game from 2017, and it's like sound, you know, it's sound. If knight takes f4, I would be interested in this move. Because we have to understand what's happening after knight takes f4. I guess you go d4, right? You knock out the foundation behind that knight on f4. It's pretty interesting. It looks reasonable. Like, White has something here. So Nefedov played the same move that was played in this game here. But, you know, knight takes c3 isn't that dynamic, but it's apparently okay. Now, this is gross. Like, Axelrod played that, dude. I mean, okay, maybe it's the better move. I don't know. It's a pretty strange way to play the King's Gambit. I mean, but whatever. So Astrobate, you know, more aggressive, take toward the center. And then I wondered about e4. But maybe the move's not that clear. It's not that clear what's happening here. Do we play queen e2? Or do we play knight e5? I'm really not sure. There's even the potential to move knight here, but that looks kind of weak. Queen e2 develops a piece. It has to be promised you won't play like bishop c4 or something. My teammate would play knight to g5 for sure here. I really want to think about it. Alright. So b takes c, and then Nefedov plays e takes f4. You know, you'd think we get like the transposition to a King's Gambit. d4. But somehow this position hasn't been reached. It looks like you should transpose to something. Bishop d6, bishop d3. There's nothing in the master database, and both sides made logical moves. Castles, castles. Oh, there we go. Fabian Fiorito. And black played knight to c6. Well, Nefedov probably wouldn't play knight to c6. I mean, the problem is, maybe the black plan is like here, 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 to try to defend. Maybe it's not a bad plan. Come over here with that knight. But you gotta respect what Nefedov did. He played this. The problem is, you know, this move makes a lot of sense fundamentally. Black, you know, playing c5. But I mean, you've got two pawns. So it's not that easy to put mega pressure on the white center. Okay, it's certainly a reasonable move. I think the computer thought it was okay. Yeah, you guessed the right move, Move 11. Good job. Knight e5. Exactly. You were talking about a different position. So the question is now, how can white... The problem arises, like, how does white, you know, improve his position? Like, what would Morphe play? What would Jim play? I mean, king h1, but it's, like, passive. So I would guess, like... I guess I would play rook b1 here, pinning the black bishop to b7 like a Petrov. And you hope And you hope, it's very similar to Petrov, you hope you get this in somehow. We're hoping for that beautiful the rook transfer, a la Morphy. But, Asterbate played 95. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe 95 makes the most sense. I mean, you are picking off f4. And g5 is too dangerous to play. I don't know. I don't remember what the computer recommended. But anyway, the game is pretty balanced. C takes d4. And then Asterbate just, like, went off on the insane tangent. So he must have been concerned about something legit here. Yeah, he must have seen, like, there's a problem. Takes, bishop takes e5. Pawn takes bishop, queen d4 check. King h1, queen a1. It's game over, right? We're just down a rook. We don't have anything. So we have to play queen h5, and then like Nefedov's f5 would allow no counterplay. f5 would just win. So Asterbate is right. Like you can't just recapture. The computer says bishop takes f4. And white is slightly worse, was, I think, the engine's evaluation here. But it's pretty dynamic. I mean, white has, like, attacking chances if black makes a mistake. So I know, this looks kind of risky for black. You know, you definitely have some tactics in the air. The safest move to play would be like knight c6. So I would think like knight c6, knight c6, b6, pawn d4, bishop f4, rook f4, equal, or something like that. Cheaper Spieler, what? Lots of room for cheapos, yeah. But this is great. Asterbate just played queen h5, and then the inexplicable happened. I mean, honestly, this is the typical example of underestimating your opponent. You know, you never ever underestimate your opponent. But the minute you start to underestimate your opponent, or you think you can't lose, is like the moment of the most danger. Like, I always lose games exactly in that moment when I'm like, oh, everything's... The moment I let down my guard and I think, oh, everything's fine now, that's always when I lose, you know? You have to keep your guard up till the game's over. And so he disrespected Asterbate and just tossed out an obvious move. Black can play h6, but obviously, you know, bishop takes f4 and white has attacking chances. So the best move is g6. I'm not sure if white has enough here, you know, now. If you sack twice, it's a draw. But, you know, nobody promised to take the second time on g6. So objectively, it's probably not sound. Black can probably defend here. Schieberspieler would be drooling to play this position for black. +2, an easy +2. Just defend with computer-like accuracy. You have no problem whatsoever. Objectively, white shouldn't, I guess, sack the piece. But I don't know if we have a choice. I guess you do. You could play queen back to e2, and if you get pinned, you have recapture. So, you know, like rook e8. Obviously, this is kind of messy. Speaking of cheapo chances, I mean, even a piece down, white has some cheapo chances here. The black king is pretty open. But Nefedov played f5. Refuting Astrobate's attack? No. Bishop c4 check. Oh shit, I forgot about my queen. Oh no. I guess objectively rook f7 would put up the most resistance, but it won't hold long. So it was over quickly. King h8 and h6 mate. Mate in 13. Nice job. Alright, congratulations Astrobate. Knocking off the Nefedov. But again, I think it's a case of underestimating the opponent. Now we have another mule. We have the move 11 game in there? No? Did move 11 submit a game? Oh. The other game's only on a case-by-case basis. If it's not 9:30 yet, I'll do more. I gotta leave around 9:30. It's been a hard day. Create study, no. Here we go. Alright, next game is Morales playing black. Morales has been doing the Petrov. And, you know, there's the ever annoying knight c3. Yeah, I mean, I think that assuming you don't play the Philidor, black has to play knight c6. There's only one case when I'll play this move, only if it's a very strong player. I'll tell you the truth, like, I could have played this against Sorbat Adam last year, and I didn't because I felt like this is the type of position where white might, like, torture you or something. Like, Grandmaster might torture you. It's just not fun for black, you know? White takes on e5, then you play castles, the knight drops back, like knight d3, bishop c3, dc3, knight d4, and this is absolutely thankless position for black. Black has like almost 0 winning chances. Look at the statistics with bishop e2. I would probably play like d6 here. I looked at this the other day. Castles, knight d7, rook e1, for example, rook e8, bishop f1, and b6. Black's winning chances are exactly 0 in this position. There's no way you could ever win a game. You can draw, but that's the max. So what I'm saying is, you can't play bishop e4 unless you're playing a strong player. Now, in this case, A. Morales is playing a strong player. It's Mule 51 of 2367. Objectively, I think that black, again, if you don't play the Philidor, you have to play knight c6. Unless you're willing to draw, you know, so bishop e4 is like an offer of a draw. But white plays d3, and this is funny because someone played this against me the other day. It's a reverse Steinitz, and obviously it's a bad move for white. But you'd be surprised how many good players have played this. I noticed like Vida Levente has played it several times. He actually beat me with 3d3. I beat myself. But objectively, you know, it's not a good move. So I like d5. You know, I think we should play d5. Make him give up to center, man, you know? Objectively. We're happy with the draw. I think it's a good move. It releases a lot of the tension from the position after d5 takes, and then take with the queen. And on bishop d2, we can just give this up. Bishop takes c3, bishop takes c3, knight c6. There I had a game with Vargasoli that I drew. That was like after I lost to Vida Levente. And those guys are really good friends, and actually, they know, they shared knowledge of this. I think it goes back to someone else. I have a feeling like there's a connection with this piano, but I'm not sure. What the story is of why these guys who are grandmasters are playing like d3 against the Petrov but they're all interconnected. You could also take with a knight. I'm not sure about this though because of this pawn. Apparently it's okay. Bishop d2. Yeah, I had a game like this the other day on the stream against those who were watching the other day. This was my game with what's his name? Ruslan. Okay, black's already better here. Bishop takes b4 is a bad move. I mean, knight takes d5 is a bad move. But he's supposed to play g3. That's way more dynamic. Alright. But Mule Skinner... Sorry, Morales doesn't go with that. Or his opponent, you know, he doesn't go with my recommended d5. He goes with castles. Well, he plays bishop b2, and now he plays d5. Okay. And now he takes d5, and then you can take either way. But knight takes is more forcing in this case. You force bishop d2. So this is reverse Steinitz like main line, which should be okay for black. Vita Levente versus Schiebler. I saw this game in the database. That's actually post Levente beating me in a d3 Petrov or whatever it is, reverse Philidor. So he's still doing this crap. I swear to God, I would play it again, man. I mean, this is a stupid system for white. I underestimated it. I'm still shaking my head, like wondering how the hell did I lose against like d3 against the Petrov. I underestimated him. Castles, I was like overconfident. But now, Morales plays f5. f5, dude. Are you white? Man. Look at the opening explorer. 9 games. This is not a statistically relevant sample size, but 9 games. Rook e8, white won all 3. There was knight takes c3, bishop takes c3, and bishop f5. Now, honestly, if you want me to pick one of those moves, I like bishop f5. This is like a kind of secret move. That's like secret grandmaster type of move. Who was my game against that we had a very similar thing as well? But that was I did that later against Ruslan the other day. He played knight h4 later in this type of position. We had like exactly this position. Takes, and he did knight h4. I was like, that's a good square for your knight on the side of the board. Well, the point of the secret GM move, bishop f5, you just kind of like hold the position. And white can never do anything fancy like d4 because of this diagonal. You're just kind of keeping the tension. You're not exchanging pieces. And it's just the only square where the bishop is actually good. I mean, here you're just proposing exchanges of that bad piece. On this square, it tends to get attacked by like knight to g5. And so it's like a place for mom. It's just like a place for the bishop where it's actually kind of useful. And the main point of the grandmaster move is to trick your opponents into doing like knight h4 later. But f5 looks... I imagine Schieberspieler, you could also play something like h6, maybe prepping the secret grandmaster move. Trick our opponents into playing knight h4. No, I mean, like, what I'm saying is, I'll show you what I'm talking about. e4, e5, knight f3, if you play the Philidor, right? d4 takes, knight takes d4. Exchange Philidor, knight c3, bishop e7. What's the best move for white? Well, let's look through the database here. Bishop e2, the most popular, 33% wins for white, 30% for black. g3, 43%, 20%. So it's right up there. Bishop f4, the secret move, the secret grandmaster move. This is, nobody knows why it's a good move, but it's a good move. Why do I have to explain it? It's just a good move. It's just because it is. You're threatening e5 later on, I guess. Trading off the whole center. I don't know, man. It's a good move. Alright, anyway. Don't make me explain it. Morales played, don't make me explain something I don't understand. Damn it. Alright, bishop d2, knight c6 castle. So I think this is too much. f5 looks, for my taste, like a little too adventurous. What are we doing on knight d5? We're taking on d2? Okay. Morales likes f5. He plays the Grand Prix attack and stuff. It's a principled move. Can we take on d2? Well, there's no need, right? We're getting close to a transposition. Wow, we transposed to my game with Ruslan. Morales played f5 instead of my bishop f5. Now a3. It's probably not a bad move. I mean, the question is timing. I don't think the knight takes a2 is a threat, by the way. Knight c6, and then, wow. I mean, this guy's 2367 and he played b3. You should have your, like, chess online master rating taken away for playing that. That's one of the worst moves I've ever seen. This guy is, like, patently playing for the cheapo, bishop c4. That is so gross. It's just disgusting. No, dude, he's trying to play, like, d4 and do bishop c4 for a cheapo. I mean, that's just ridiculous. The first thing Morales, sorry, is king h8, of course. Anybody who plays the Grand Prix attack is going to fall for bishop c4. Are you kidding me? Yeah, I mean, if anything, white should play, like, b4 at some point. No, I mean, white needs to be very careful here. Objectively. White is suddenly worse. Maybe knight d2. No, I guess knight d2. I wouldn't know what else to suggest. Hunker down. Rook e1, maybe, you know. Or knight d2. Try to play bishop f3. And if knight d4, I'll play it anyway. It might be too late. I'd gladly, like, give you a hamburger today. What is that they say on Popeye? I'm still not a fan of a3, if I'm being perfectly honest. Actually, I'm not a fan of bishop takes b4. I'm not a fan of any of this. But alright, knight d5, queen d5, bishop b4, knight b4, a3, knight c6, b3, question mark, king h8, knight d2. White wanted to extra weaken his dark squares. Now knight d4 is definitely a solid choice here. I imagine Schieberspieler would consider this possibility. We have other options, but I mean, rook d8, this rook is not belonging here. You could just simply play like bishop d7 maybe. Obviously you can play bishop b6, but there's like bishop f3, queen moves, and then white will try to put pressure on the e5 pawn. Ultimately, the one thing that could go wrong here is that white gets some kind of pressure on the c5 pawn. I don't really see how it's going to work. Knight d2, now bishop d7, kind of overprotective, an overprotective parent. This will come across and maybe protect the e5 pawn, bishop f3, and now queen f7, so that kept that clear. Rather than play queen d6 and give him knight c4 with tempo, or queen e6, where your queen could be exposed. Maybe this is a good move, I don't know. And now knight c4. Hello! I don't know, man. Maybe not. You know, maybe we should have played queen e6. I don't know. Actually, if white could somehow, like, maneuver his queen to b2 and put pressure on the diagonal, b3 could almost make sense. Rook a e8, rook e1, and this is the secret. There's a secret problem. Can white take the pawn? e4, rook e4. I mean, I don't know what options we have here, you know, at this point. It may be too late for, like, queen f6 or something. So e4 takes, there. So, alright. What happens if we take with the rook? Rook takes, bishop takes, queen takes, f2 check, king h1. And, what is this? Is black better here? Or is it like drawish? There's no bishop g4. Unfortunately. There is bishop g4? Oh my god. Wow. Yeah, no, but I mean, it's not like it's lost or anything. Bishop g4 doesn't really do anything. We just go here. It's okay. I think, no, it really is drawish. I mean, I think it's symmetrical, equal material, and fairly simplified, you know. Of all the three possible results, like, a draw is the most likely here. I would bet on the draw if I had to bet on the result for money. But white does bishop h5, which is crazy. So he like drops f2 a check while leaving the position like pretty complicated, and leaving his bishop out on h5. And now rook d8. Damn, it just doesn't really make sense. I just don't understand why he would not take this pawn. Is there something that I'm missing? Black does anything better, right? Like, you have to do this and this and this. And then that's a nice move, bishop g4, but it's not enough to win. It looks like it's just, like, tiny bit better for black. Wow, the computer actually thinks white is better. Jeez, dude, that's crazy. Okay, 0.0. It's close to equal. But white does that, that's crazy. Bishop g5 or bishop h5. Giving up a pawn and not getting it back. Then here, and you can't take the pawn because of discovered attacks. Queen e2, and now you're down a pawn in an ending. Figuring you're likely to get it back. But I don't know, you know. Good luck getting it back. Like, queen takes queen, rook takes queen, bishop f5, or g6 winning a piece. So if he played it, he would have had to have taken back the bishop to not lose a piece. You could definitely go in the ending. You're a clear pawn up with huge winning chances. But Morales instead traps the bishop, sort of. Sort of, but not really. Now white lost his mind. White like panicked here. I mean, still white's probably objectively losing. But I guess he should try like 93 or something. He's just down a pawn for nothing. A really big pawn. If he plays g4, that looks pretty bad, man. I mean, that king is totally smoked. But I was surprised that now it seems consistent. Now you trade queens? After all that? After this you trade queens? This is a weird moment to trade queens. Jim would never trade queens. Or maybe you're right. Maybe it just traps the bishop. Shit. Well, I'll be damned. There's no way to save the bishop on h5. No, it works. Morales is right. It's not funny. It's trapped anyway. It's good enough. I would always trade queens. This is weird, though. You have g6. It's like he didn't realize it was trapped. He played this instead. Oh my god. Rubbing it in. I mean, yeah, dude, this is over. Wow, f2, bishop c6. Probably f2, 95 for white. Keeps him alive. Ooh, that's a nice move you got there. Nice game. Alright. The reverse Philidor is kind of dubious. Okay, Jim's up. You got the Jim game. Guys, don't forget to support the stream. Donate and subscribe. We need... Mama needs a new pair of anal beads. Cheaper Spiller, did you hear about... Well, I guess it's old news, but a certain international master in Hungary was busted for cheating. I don't know how recent news that is. Bishop G7. I was surprised, but not surprised, kind of. Okay, Jim is white. Knight F3. This is kind of conservative. I mean, Knight C3 is way more aggressive. Hot phone. He had a hot phone. Alright. Yeah, I hadn't heard about it till last weekend. It's interesting. So D6. You're obviously more up on Hungarian chess gossip than me. They don't let the foreign speakers in on this secret stuff, usually. Knight F3, D6. It's a national embarrassment. No, I'm just kidding. It's happening everywhere, probably. So C3, A6. We got the modern defense. The Schieberspieler system. Wow, Schieberspieler's even here. Schieber loves to play C3. Very solid for white. Yeah, so objectively, I don't know. The best is like Knight F6, I think. Yeah, you know, A6, I'm not sure how much sense it makes here. You're supposed to play Knight F6, and then Bishop D3, castles, and then I guess Knight to C6. This is the best try. Actually, I lost against Roland in Blitz here, in this variation. Let's see. Oh, it was white? No, I mean with black. Oh, I have quite a few games. Schieberspieler beat me. I beat Princess Chess, High Move, Praying Mantis. Schieberspieler beat me again. 10-year-old, I beat, yeah, so only one theme there. The only player who's ever beat me in this position with white is Schieberspieler. 2 wins with H3, Schieberspieler system. H3, E5, rook E1, keeping the tension. And we gotta look this up, dude. I need to do a little work on this. Alright, anyway. A6 is not so appropriate. I think it's not that appropriate for black, you know, like it is against F4, or even actually even in the like classical variation with Knight C3 and Knight F3. I don't really see A6 making that much sense here. Well, you could get a hippo, I guess. Maybe black's just gonna play hippopotamus. But I guess there goes that theory. I mean, E6 makes sense. That's what Shabalov did. Dreyev as well. Black's gonna play hippo. So Knight F6 means no hippo. Now you have possibly E5, when it feels like... I don't know what Schieberspieler would do. But I mean, you know, we don't necessarily play... Well, first of all, you play Bishop C4, okay? This is not automatic, by the way. I don't think it's a bad move, though. Schieber probably would have played more solidly like Bishop D3. But I mean, I guess against A6, Bishop C4 is more reasonable. I don't like A6. Now you played like a 8-year-old Sri Lankan junior. You don't have your bishop on f4. I mean, yeah, is this a London system? What are we doing? Bishop f4, queen c2. I love this. Queen c2, bishop f4, castle's queenside, and we're playing the London. But Jim has a reasoning behind his move. He played queen c2. Why c2 versus e2? Like, you're avoiding possible rook e8? I hate that square, you know, the c2 square. It's so lame. It's like playing queen c7 in the King's Indian. Okay, b5, now you go back to e2. Again, I don't know if d3 is better. Well, you've got this protected, I guess. You know, all you're doing here is playing... You're basically just playing the Kali system. And now you played e5. How does that work? I don't think that's right. That doesn't seem consistent with this position. I mean, White's played very quietly. You're supposed to, like, castle and play, like, rook e1 now, and just hunker down. This is inconsistent. I thought you were going to sack a pawn with, like, knight takes c5, bishop takes g2. It's a bullet game. Castle queenside. But objectively, okay, this is sounder, and now Black could play knight g4, right? Black can play knight d5. Black can play knight g4. Knight g4 is the most aggressive, and it attacks e5. How do you protect e5? What's the answer? You don't, right? But this is kind of important. But it's important. Like, okay, you have to play e6, and then the $1 million question is, how does Black react to that? Does he, like, ignore it? Does he push the f-pawn? What's Black's best move here? I don't know. You know, I just don't know what Black should do. Maybe taking... The computer is going to be like, take... Because it eliminates the dangerous pawn from the board, probably. Yeah. Yeah, it's debating, but it's leaning toward f takes c6. I agree, you know, I think, like, otherwise that pawn's too annoying. Like, you have to take it. I would take it. It doesn't, you know, you're tied down here. You can't, your setup isn't that aggressive, you know, like, you're not playing the Austrian attack or something, you know. You're playing a very, like, safe setup for White. You're not even playing the classical. Classical with e6 is kind of dangerous. With the c3 system, this is very, like, conservative for White. Your knight's on d2, you know, your bishop's on e2. You can't, like, blow this guy away here. But this is bad. I think knight d7 is bad. It's, like, passive. It's a huge mistake. Well, at least it's a mistake, you know, bottling up his pieces. e6 takes. It's not as good as the other move. Because now if your knight's on g4, if his knight's on g4, he's keeping you honest by keeping pressure down here on f2. Now knight g5 may or may not be possible, you know, because Black has threats on f2 as well. So it's not so simple. It would be way better for him than what happens here. Now I wasn't sure, knight c5 doesn't do anything, I guess. I'm taking on g2, knight takes e6. This at least opens up knight f8, but now White is better. It's like, where's that going, you know? But it didn't have another option. I don't know, man. Black's all tangled up. But now Jim, I don't know. I wouldn't have thought of this f4. Maybe. I know Schieberspieler hates that move. I was just talking earlier about how much I hate F4 pawns. I think you should play just there and it's like game over. It's game over, man. I mean, it's just game over. What's he gonna do? Rook F5? It's terrible. This is like, you just have to like take some risk for no reason. I just want to give the opponent a chance. F4. You're still clearly better. I would anticipate bishop e3, but I mean, I guess you wanted to keep this clear, but it's still awkward to go here. It's awkward to put your bishop in and take, and yeah, rook e1 is possible. I mean, ideally, like, we want to do the other rook to e1. I guess that's what he wanted to do. No. Well, he didn't have a choice. He put his bishop on d2. Yeah, I mean, maybe you should just go here, and then bring the other rook to e1, and we'll see what happens. I mean, maybe Schieberspieler is right. Like, just attacking e6 is better. We're playing reflexive bullet like chess. It's not deep, you know. White's just better structurally. Finally, we got the setup we wanted. And now there's the ghost threat here. Bishop c1 or e3. And now black's totally tied down to d6 or e6. Karpovian. Oof, that hurts. He's gonna have to take it. So he takes it. This guy's 2258, he's not that bad. I thought he would take it with the bishop. Bishop. Now white needs a way to break through, so it's an endgame strategy. h4, h5, a4. Bishop's like flank pawns, right? Move 11. I called it. Yeah, this queen is so strong and centralized. Jim's got a little bit of the acerbate going on, where he plays really well once he gets coordinated. h5. This is kind of gambling. I mean, it looks like black should probably take here. Objectively. He's got the acerbate. That's another word for autism. Alright. No, acerbate's not autistic. Queen f7, queen c2, rook f5. This is... Jim's really taking his time now. I was gonna say, if you don't take the exchange, I don't know what the point is. And now it's just a tactical win. You learned something in the stream today? Bishop's like 5 pawns. The 5 pawns attack? It's otherwise known as the 5 pawns attack. White wins on time. Yeah, well, I feel like the game, you know, hinged on, like, black reacting passively at a critical moment there. Alright, how much time we have? One more game. Cockatieri and Excel Poker, I'm going to put you on next week, for next week's stream. Because it's been a long day. So, Cockatieri and Excel Poker. XL with a big X and a big L. Those guys are on for next week, and Repunge, actually. We got a big lineup for next week. I gotta get some rest. Stayed up too late watching movies with my son yesterday. You gotta make the kids go to sleep in time. Alright, so this is a training game between Move 11 and Grandmaster Bumbleitza. This is one I have not seen, I believe. But a good quality game, hopefully. The Grandmaster is a little underrated. OB1 tourney. Knight f3, d5. And, you know, I think it's debatable, Move 11. Again, like, you're in a tricky situation playing against these guys who play Knight f3, and, you know, you're an e4 player. Bumbleitza has played King's Indian attack type of formations against him before. And so we've seen this type of stuff. But it's tricky when you play d5 and white doesn't play d4, and you're not a d4 player with white. So, and you can do g6 here, you should consider it. Well, that's kind of what you did. You just did the other move order. But I suppose, is there something wrong with g6 right away? Is there anything wrong with g6 right away? I mean, does it matter if you do g6 right away? There's no, like, downside to that, is there? Or, like, c4 or something? Why is there no games with g6 right away? Don't know. Okay, knight f6. He doesn't do bishop e2. So what were you going to do if he does bishop e2? Right. Because I love the London. I like, you know, I kind of like g6 here anyway. Asios is rating the party of 24. Wow, thank you. Asios of lichess. Thank you for the raid. Welcome everybody. Welcome raiders. So I always get raids when we're like wrapping up. I'm gonna be streaming for like 20 minutes. Then we'll try to pass on the raid. Yeah, thank you. We're doing analysis of subscriber games. This is interesting. What do you guys think about? Yeah, can we get a shout out for Asios? G6, allowing bishop takes f6, it's like an English defense in reverse. I think this is a very solid option. Jim, of all people, you're here. You know, you who plays b3, how would you play with black? This is a very solid setup for black. You know, despite, like, you might not think so with the double pawns, I think this is a very, very safe way to play. But move 11 doesn't do it, so he plays what? Oh no, white didn't do bishop e2, he did g3, that's weird. Wonder what his point is, you know. I think he would, like, play bishop e2 and put black to the question of whether he's going to play g6 or not. I wonder what the advantage is in white not playing bishop e2 here. I don't really see any real concept there. I think there's nothing special to it. Black has a terrible score here with e6. Statistically irrelevant sample size, but why would you play e6 anyway? It's passive. You know, it depends on your repertoire, I guess. As Schieberspieler pointed out, the horrific London system is always playable. It just makes my stomach turn when I think about bishop f5, and the people who play that opening like so robotically. I try to stay away from this whenever possible. It's overly hyped. So here with black, I would always play either like g6 or maybe c5 if I was feeling kind of ambitious. I suppose bishop g4 is good too. I've recommended that. You can always play bishop g4. It's like a Tory attack reversed It's not as disgusting as the London, Mr. Coffee. G6, I like it. G6 is good. It's probably the best move, objectively. Bishop B2, Bishop G7, C4. And actually C4 is accurate. He's playing a kind of hedgehog, or maybe forces you into, you know, allowing him a kind of hedgehog. So you could play C6 here. I had a game like that with a German guy like 15 years ago. Maybe very similar position. Yeah, C6 is kind of irritating. It's very solid, and I don't really know what White's plan is. It's like a ready. White is playing the ready, and Black's playing the Slav. Ready meets Slav. Another, like, Japanese monster movie mashup. I don't like either side. It's kind of boring. Yeah, I don't think you have to commit, necessarily. I was looking at the same kind of position with Black recently, where I was like the white side of this, a tempo down. You know, so it gets interesting. Like if C takes D, do you take with the queen or with the knight? Yeah, I don't particularly like D takes C4, but I'm sure it's playable. I feel like it's strategically wrong in a sense, but you see the same thing with colors reversed. It clarifies the structure. Personally, I don't really like it. Is there a concrete idea? Yeah, I mean, to like clarify the pawn structure. I mean, usually you'll play C5. I don't know, you know. I mean, at the end of the day, if Black ends up playing like B6, and White gets an A4, A5, Black's like, you know, structurally screwed. Theoretically. I mean, that's the one risk that you're running. You have the bigger island, right? You know, so if we break it down to really fundamental like pawn structure stuff, it's a mistake for Black to take away from the center. If I can get in like Bishop G2, you know, B6, just hypothetically, castles, Bishop B7, something like this, castles, you know, whatever. The question is, under the right circumstances, A4, A5, and Black's like structurally busted, would be the biggest objection to trying to do D takes C. Well, you're like strategically in trouble now. For Black. So obviously the knight should go to C6 in this type of situation. There's only one game. But, you know, this is still in the back of the room. I just don't really like D takes C. I know that people do it, but I don't see the reason why. So what happened? Bishop G2. If I were you, you have some interesting possibilities. There's also like the weird sort of knight C6. That's like a hybrid. What's that, Schieberspieler? With D4 played by White, then C5 breaks the structure. Right. But I don't know, here you have like a bunch of options. I don't really like... I don't know what I like personally. What's up with C5? I mean, CD, Queen takes D5. What if we try to play it like a real sharp? I was afraid I was going to get this with Banus 2 weeks ago. I could have gotten this kind of hedgehog against Banus with colors reversed, and then Queen F5. I mean, this would be, from my perspective, you know, like the critical kind of continuation. It's like a hedgehog reversed. I don't know enough about this, really. You know, is the extra tempo really a big deal? But I would think like that would be the most interesting. This, I had played, I think I had this position against Pop Jula and Blitz, and it didn't go well. He just like destroyed me. Something like Bishop takes G7, King G7. He eventually gets in Queen C1, and like D4 I got destroyed. look at the score here for white. It's like devastating. You think, oh, it's no big deal. Probably if you play c5, you have to do like queen takes. Let's say like castles. And now there's queen h5. That's interesting. You should look into this. Okay, it's a symmetrical English, in a sense. Alright, so c6 is solid, castles. And honestly, like, to me this doesn't make any sense. If you play c6, you're like playing Slav style, you're supporting your d5, and then taking on c4, Magnus even has a game here. But frankly, I don't like 100% get it. It seems illogical to play, support your center and then give it up. I'm not really understanding like what the point is for black. Even though there are games by Gelfand, Fiddler, and Carlson here. There must be something really concrete. So b takes c4. White has a good score overall. 45% wins to 13. I don't understand it, you know. Aronian even beat Magnus. c5 down a tempo. That is not, yeah, that is not impressive, man. So personally, I would like it even if Magnus played it. Bishop g4 is correct. Probably that's like the most correct move to play here. You can see there's some a5. This is always an idea. That I think they're like, I feel like Magnus has played white in this type of position. Knight c3. Knight c3 preventing a4. I mean, I've thought about playing white here. I've had 1 or 2 games. I like this, though, if you're gonna play. Luca Andres and Asios, thank you for the raid. So we're here, we're on our last game. We're gonna leave in about 10 minutes. Thanks guys for supporting the stream. If you'd like to donate or subscribe, much appreciated. Yeah, but I don't really get it. Like, you give up your center and you play queen b6, okay, there's something to this, maybe? Causing a problem. Queen c2. Bumbley's played queen c1 because I guess he wanted to avert the threat of knight a6 and knight b4. It's not clear if it's necessary. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Bishop g4 is very solid. You could hit the bishop if you want to. But I still think that black is very solid. I would imagine like bishop b6 is okay here. This is an Ullman game from 1971. White really wants to play like d3 and knight d2. Schieber might even play like d4. I bet Schieber's going to know something about that with white. Okay, castles, takes, queen b6, queen c1, and now you play bishop e6. Bishop e6 seems pretty strange. But we're kind of playing like Sans plan, it feels like. If I could trade the dark square bishops, and then kind of clamp down on the dark squares, we need to like trade the dark square bishops and then play like e5 somehow, and erect like a dark square bind, I guess. Knight a6, knight c5, or e8, move the knight and trade the bishops and play e5, and like get a position where you have knight blockading c5, and white's bishop on g2 is just a defensive piece. Let's see what happens. So I like this guy's move better. Knight a6. I like that better than bishop e6. I think you might want to play e5 later. And I don't see what the bishop particularly does there. But it might not be that bad. Now here. No, we should probably mention that. I mean, d4 is theoretically a move. It would change character of the position tremendously. No, so you're kind of setting up what I was talking about, but I wouldn't like fart around here too long. Then again, if you try to trade bishops, I guess like when is the time to do it? Like now? If you were to try to trade bishops somehow, how would you do it? What? Bishop c4? Oh, shit. You materialist. Yeah, I was saying like white could play d4. You're right. Yeah, no. Doesn't work. Good point. He has to play d3 or something like that. Knight a6. I mean, I still feel like if only we could trade the darks for bishops off, maybe it wouldn't be so bad for black. Well, that's a good point, though. Okay, so what if we do it now? What if we did, like, I don't know, knight e8? And that's a pretty ugly square, but Schiebersfiller's point is important, you know, that this is possible. So, like, you can't avoid the exchange of bishops, or maybe you can with, like, knight c3 now. That's awkward. Knight c3 is pretty awkward, honestly. So I don't see how we can necessarily, like, offer a trade of bishops. We're kind of drifting without a plan. Now here, threatening that could be construed as a sort of semi-plan. I'm worried about rook b1. You know, an interesting idea, though. You might be able to put your queen on a6. Like in the London happens. So he played bishop d4. Yeah, okay, now I'm really not sure what's going on. Why can't you play knight fd7 now? Because you want to trade the darks for bishops, but there could be some kind of tactical reason it's not good. Yeah, black, that doesn't look right. I mean, this is already looking like d4 is going to be a problem. I think your position is already kind of dubious, so I guess you're right. Yeah, you can't do that. Queen a5. Okay, queen b2. You're getting outplayed. I mean, yeah, the knight, the takes on c4 doesn't make sense. Bishop h6, interesting. Perhaps you're panicking too early. You'd like to play this, but he has queen a3. I'm not convinced of what's going on here, though. There's this. So c5, like, loses to this. Even that's not clear. He has this. You know, but fundamentals make me feel like you've been outplayed. Now a7's hanging. Can we play b6 here? How does that work? It's too little, too late. Like b6, knight d4, and c6 is going. That's not good. Yeah, I mean, this is very fundamental. I don't like it. Oh, b6 rook a4 is even worse than I thought. b6 rook a4. No, but I mean, that's true as well, yeah. b6 rook a4. Queen, whatever. It's not good. It's not good. You're lost now. You're lost. But I think bishop h6 is too late. Yeah, there's a number of things I don't like. You know, I don't like a lot of the fundamental stuff happening here. I don't like this taking on c4. I don't understand it. And I don't blame them for playing c5. 6 people played queen b6. The engine hates it. Define the center with c5. This is bad. I can't blame you for knight a6, but it's amazing you're like -2 already. Just no coordination, no plan. It's amazing. Yeah. If you could only have traded the darks for bishops somehow, you could probably defend. But it looks bad. This is your last chance. Go back and try to hunker down. When really he can't take this pawn because of the b6. He can even take the pawn. Unbelievable. And here. Queen c7, b4. Yeah, I mean, it's a bigger pawn island, you know. Anyway, guys, I gotta go. This was very interesting. Thanks to Willem for sharing. But I really don't fundamentally agree with this decision. You know, if you're gonna play d64, you could play it and play c5, but it doesn't make sense to support your center and then like trade it off on the next move. It seems like two totally different things. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks to the raid from Asios. And that is it, guys. We're gonna be back. I promise. Tomorrow. In fact, already. So there's no excuses. Someday we're gonna be back. In actual fact. Thanks to the stream. In actual fact. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Rapid challenges. Thanks everybody. Thanks Schieberspieler. Good game. Bye bye guys. Thanks to Mr. Coffee. Congrats on your successful tournament.